Welcome back to another episode of What Are We Watching? All right, man. What's going on?
Not much, man. How you doing?
Back at it again.
Back at it again here with another
Fresh
week
off of the Diet Coke incident where I spilled a whole Diet Coke on my keyboard.
Yeah, I just had told Nick that I upended a Diet Coke Zero at my house.
Yeah.
Like a little kid would do. My hand was upside down. I was just spilling on the carpet.
Yeah, it was like glug, glug,
I looked
glug.
at my lady and I was just like, I don't know what that was.
I don't know why I did.
How I did that.
I don't know why the way I am.
Not 3 minutes later, Nick just decided to dump an entire Diet Coke inside his keyboard.
Yeah, it was so much. The volume was so great. I was able to scoop the Diet Coke off of the keyboard.
Yeah, like
It seems to be fine though. We got the computer duster. I blew the hell out of the keys. We're good. We'll be fine.
yeah, we acted fast. I hit those. I hit that
You were on those paper towels.
man,
that was wild.
so fast.
Scared my dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, did you want to start? Let's start off with. Did you watch any other movies other than the one that we're covering today?
Yeah. What are we covering though?
About? We are covering the second installment in the Dark Knight series.
The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight trilogy, The Dark Knight.
Okay.
By Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, I did. I watched a lot of things like I always do. It's just I do that a lot. I watch a lot of things.
Oh yeah, didn't you say you were like, oh, I had like 20 something movies that I watched? Do you want me to go over all of them?
Yeah, I forget when. It wasn't from just this week. That was like since the last
recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you watched? Anything wild?
So we did go. A couple of buddies and I went to see Asteroid City in theaters this week. Nick was going to come, but he had to go see the Weezer in concert.
Yeah, I actually didn't even end up
going.
He
didn't go. He just ditched us.
It was thunderstorms.
But
so scary.
That was a good movie. If you like Wes Anderson, you'll definitely like it. I will say it's not one of his best, but not because it's bad, just because some of his other movies are so good.
Yeah, if every movie you make is like the best movie,
yeah,
it's obviously not going to be. It's not going to hit
right.
every single one.
Yeah, so I would say it's a decent movie. It's basically about a kid's science fair, almost like an astronomy convention.
Yeah.
In Asteroid City, but it's
Yeah.
a play that's being put on by a troupe, almost like it's a televised play. So it's like there's segments where they're talking about the play. It's being introduced, but Jason Schwartzman is the lead.
Yeah, the cast was wild
yeah.
for that. It was like, who are some? Tom Hanks was also in it.
Yeah,
Schwartzman
and Scarlett Johansson are probably the top two, and they're listed the first two, but they have the biggest roles.
Yeah,
and Tom Hanks plays Schwartzman's father-in-law technically.
Nice.
And then Tilda Swinton, Bryan Cranston's kind of the MC of the whole thing. Edward Norton's in it. There's a lot of small roles. Steve Carell is in it as a.
Yeah, if you look, I mean, I remember when we saw the poster for it, it was literally like every single one was like, oh my god. Like,
oh yeah.
This person's also, but I mean, I guess it turns out that it's just like, they're in for a couple seconds or something like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of very short roles. Like Willem Dafoe is in it again. He's in a lot of his movies.
Yeah. Who was supposed to be in it? Bill Murray was.
Bill Murray's supposed to be in it,
but he did not make the appearance. Sad to say.
Yeah, he actually got COVID while they were filming, so that's where Steve Carell came in. But it's the first movie that Bill Murray's not in since Bottle Rocket.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Even in Darjeeling Limited, he's in for like 20 seconds. Yeah, but he's still in it.
I mean, he had a pretty big part in Moonrise Kingdom, which is another Wes Anderson movie. But nice.
But yeah, it was. There was a small.
Without going into spoilers.
No. I would say it's a watch.
Still on my list.
It's a watch if you like Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
If you like his style, which is awesome. Like I think the way the color and the Kodak cameras he uses.
Some people get a little like, it's a little too artsy for me, but I love it. I will always go see whatever he's making.
I'm not generally an artsy guy, but his style is really cool.
Yeah, I almost said, obviously, but that's super rude.
Yeah, because I'm a piece of shit. I get it. I'm a huge piece of shit. I eat sloppy steaks. I used to slick my hair back. God. No, but yeah, it's a really. I think it was good. I will say my buddies their take on it was, and I agree, was it seemed like a really good movie, and then the ending was just kind of abrupt, and I mean it kind of makes sense with the movie.
Yeah,
I guess there's something he's going for, but it just kind of ends real quick.
It just kind of stopped.
So it was just like, oh, okay.
I guess we're done.
Left
yeah.
the theater, but Yeah, I would say it's a watch and it's a pass if you just there's people that despise Wes Anderson. I have friends that are just like, no, fuck him.
Like for no reason. Like all of
Like,
his movies
what?
are delightful.
You can
I
just
don't
like
know.
not watch his movie. You don't have to say fuck
No, like
him.
no, I hope
No,
he's not around anymore.
I hope
You're like,
something
oh my
bad happens to
god.
him. Like Jesus.
Like I keep up on it. I check the news every day.
But yeah.
No, that's good. Like I said, I think as we're recording this, it's still in theaters. So
Yeah.
I
You can check
definitely want
that
to
out.
try and I definitely want to try and go. I did not watch something as artsy as you did. I watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh,
which
okay.
I will always, I will never not watch that movie if it's on something. It's just so good.
It is
I mean,
great.
it's basically these like two dipshit friends that have to travel. They're gonna like fail. They have this big history presentation, and they stumble upon. It's kind of like a time machine reveals itself to them. Because if it turns out if they don't pass that class, way in the future, like these two end up saving the world. So they have to go back in time. They like wrangle up all these historical figures to give like a history presentation, and it's Keanu Reeves and what's that other guy's name?
I'm drawing a blank here.
But it's incredible. Keanu Reeves is really young in this movie, but there's a lot of really great lines in it. It's just a silly movie.
It's Alex Winter.
Okay, so it's those two, and I know they did like Bill and Ted's, what is it, Bogus Journey, and then Bill and Ted Face the Music, which came out a couple years ago. But
Did you see that?
no, I never did.
Yeah.
I saw Bogus Journey was pretty good, but I mean, Excellent Adventure was like, that's like top tier.
Yeah, that was the one we had as a kid. It was
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, and then Bogus I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I heard. I mean, I
Because
heard.
it has like the Grim Reaper kind of whatever figure that is.
Yeah. I mean, I heard good things about the
Death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard good things about Bill and Ted Face the Music, but I just never made it out.
Yeah, I feel like for Keanu, I feel like I have to watch it, but I just
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't.
I mean, it's not Point Break, but you know,
No.
come on. Which I would love to cover that movie as well. But definitely watch
one day
What's that?
soon. You might hear that one.
Oh yeah, Point Break.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, that's. I mean, so definitely watch for Bill and Ted.
Oh yeah.
But there's. I mean, I watched a couple things this week, but
What
we
else?
won't bore you with the details.
No, give us a couple things.
Eh,
All right, I'll go next.
fine.
So put on RoboCop.
RoboCop.
Yeah, I love that movie. It's been a long time. My buddy Bones was actually talking about it again, and I was like, I had just added it to my Prime list because it got added to Prime
Mhm.
recently. I think I saw it was on. I gotta watch this again.
It's just been on there.
And
Yeah.
man, that movie, fucking,
It's good.
brutal. Yeah, it's so. It's
I haven't
so
seen that in a
violent.
really long time.
Dude, it's not. I guess maybe as a kid you don't really realize how violent things are. But man, that movie, like he just at one point he just gets his hand shot off.
Yeah,
And then his
you're just
arm
like,
blown off.
Oh yeah,
And then they're just blowing
and they
blowing
just keep
rounds
going.
into him, and then they just put a bullet in his head. Like it's just
Merry
crazy.
Christmas. That's the end of it.
But yeah, Paul Verhoeven. I'm gonna go with that pronunciation.
Sure.
Verhoeven,
Yeah.
wild director.
What else has he done?
Well, in out of this block, listen to this block: RoboCop, Total Recall, Basic Instinct, Showgirls, Starship Troopers.
That's pretty good.
It is a wild,
Starship Troopers is awesome.
wild
Yeah.
set of violent and just
It's all like the
insane
same.
movies.
It's
Well-
similar energy across the board.
except. I mean, Showgirls is obviously different, which I
Yeah,
also
that's-
watched
that's
this week
different, Yeah.
because we were talking about it. A
Yeah.
couple buddies of mine, and I was like, you know what? I haven't watched that in a long time.
Is it good?
Oh, it's great.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
it's like highly erotic,
Highly.
like highly, like if
So you're saying you just had like the house to yourself?
I did watch it when I was home alone
It's not weird.
because
Stay with
I
us.
mean there's a lot of
Yeah.
gratuitous.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes place within, showgirls within strip clubs,
Yeah.
but it's an awesome movie. It's like
Yeah. They're not
awesome.
playing Scrabble.
I'm not saying it's awesome
Yeah.
because of that. Like, oh, I'm a dude. I like seeing girls naked. I like seeing with no clothes on.
This is
No.
actually going to turn into just.
No, I
that.
mean, aside from that, like, it's actually an awesome movie, and it also one crazy aspect is Elizabeth Berkley, who plays Jessie from Saved by the Bell,
Yeah. Is
is
it?
the main girl.
That's pretty wild.
Kind of a wild change for her.
It's yeah.
And then Kyle MacLachlan from Twin Peaks, he
Oh,
plays
yeah.
he plays a lead in that, and he's awesome.
That's pretty good. I
Yeah.
feel like that's like one of these is not like the other
Yeah,
in that lineup.
But yeah, it's a good movie. But I think I started talking about RoboCop. That movie is super violent.
Yeah,
and it has the bad guy is actually Red from That 70s Show.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So he
Kurtwood
plays
Smith is his name.
Yeah, Kurtwood Smith. He plays Clarence Bodecker, and he is an insane bad guy.
Yeah.
And then also, did you ever see the movie Blank Check?
Who's in it?
Do you remember that? It's like a kids movie.
No.
But Miguel Ferrer is in it. Or Ferrer. I'm going with it.
If
you saw his face, he plays the guy that actually he's responsible for the RoboCop project. He's the guy that actually, after the Ed 209 malfunctions and kills somebody, he's charge
responsible for it.
Once that cop Alex Murphy dies, he's in charge of the actual RoboCop program.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the movie is honestly because people are like, "Oh, RoboCop." Yeah, okay, I've seen it. I've seen it. It's okay.
Yeah, he's a cop, but he's a robot. It is. We get it.
Brutally violent. And
I'll have to give that one another.
Yeah,
what year did that come out?
87.
Okay, I'll have to give that another rewatch. Man, we've been really hitting the 80s movies hard.
Yeah.
We got to get away from it.
Do we?
Well, this one is not 80s.
No, it's not.
Well, look at us.
We're moving into the newer eras.
2008. Do you want to? All right. So do you want to get into Dark Knight?
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So we had up front. We got a couple movies for you guys to check out. You know, it's Hoagie Fest at Wawa for any of our Wawa friends. I don't know. Any Wawa employees listening want to send us a quick sandwich? I'll take it.
Yeah.
I should just go to bed. It's 6 o'clock.
That's the one thing I know about Nick is he likes a good sandwich.
I love a good Sammy. Anywho, so second installment of the so we are covering Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, second in the Dark Knight trilogy. Keith's drinking his Diet Coke, and I'm getting war flashbacks from the spilling. I'm sorry.
That's cool. I just had to choke it down without spitting all over my computer. But
isn't that the worst when you get like a fizzy drink and
and someone starts making you laugh, and you're just like.
But anyway, second movie in the Dark Knight trilogy. Christopher Nolan, directed by Christopher Nolan. This came out in 2008. The budget for this movie was $185 million, and I am just seeing the box office now. It made over $1 billion. That's too much money. I'm gonna go ahead and say that's crazy.
And for a kids movie, that's crazy.
That is. Well, you were just saying that this is like one of those, highest grossing movies at the time when it was released. I mean, I remember when this came out and everyone was like losing their shit over it. I mean, it's still because it's a great movie. Did you have any other background production stuff you wanted to chat about before I dive into the plot?
Oh, not really. I just Hans Zimmer does this soundtrack, and
he does. I forgot about that.
And he's as we talked about before, Hans Zimmer is the man, not
he's
Hans Zimmer man. But he's great, and
he's very good.
He kills it. The sound, I mean,
everything he touches is gold.
Yeah, and the movie is awesome.
It's equally as good.
But the way that the sound is during the whole movie, it's just it's great.
I mean, there's a reason why he's who he is.
Yeah,
we're talking about him on with a sticky keyboard to record this. Anywho, because I spilled the Diet Coke. I'm not open.
You're not letting that go.
Anyway.
But are you a Nolan guy?
I like Nolan.
Okay.
Yeah, he was good. I mean, he still is.
He was
still
good.
Around.
We were just talking about seeing Opie coming up.
Yeah. What did I kept calling it?
I forgot. You fucked it up. No, Oppenheim.
Oppenheim? I was like, yeah, dude, let's go see
You want to see Oppenheim? It's coming out soon.
And I was so confidently wrong.
Emily just stared at you and said, you mean Oppenheimer? And
I was like,
she's like, you really butchered that one.
Yeah. I was like, who even invited you?
I was like, damn.
And we're in our home, so that's who invited her.
But yeah, so obviously he does this trilogy. He did Memento. That was probably the first movie I seen by him. That's the first big movie.
Yeah.
And then Insomnia. But The Prestige, I recently watched that.
Mm-hmm.
My mind was blown. I don't know why I skipped that one.
You've just never saw it.
Yeah,
that's good. That is really.
And
good.
my buddy's like, "Yeah, it's about magicians, but you just got to go with it. It's worth it."
And once you go with it, you're gonna be.
I was like, "Is it worth it?" And I was like, "You get Michael Caine in there as well as your supporting," and I'm like, "Okay,
classic.
This is gonna be cool."
Yeah,
and it is. It keeps.
And it was very.
It keeps you gripped, and then I don't even want to say at what point, but there's some point in the movie where my mouth literally just drops, and then
Yeah.
the rest of the movie you're just like, no way.
You're like, nah.
And it's like I would love to do an episode on that, but you can't
Yeah.
talk about the plot after a certain point, or it ruins the like.
It ruins the magic.
There's not many movies that really
Yeah.
will get you. That movie
Yeah.
will get you.
And
Is that a spoiler for the movie?
no, that's not a spoiler
Okay.
for the movie. I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't go any deeper with it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah, that is a
Okay.
good one. I'm really happy that you've seen that. Finally.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do
I
you
got-
want to go?
I got 2 recos in 1 week from 2 different people, and I was like, all right, well, this sounds like I got to watch this one.
Sounds like I have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, you want to go through
should
our
we do
little
the cast?
cast?
Do the cast?
We'll do a casting call.
It's not weird.
It's not
All right,
weird.
you're up.
All right, well, Christian Bale plays Batman. I think he's like insane. My favorite Christian Bale still is American Psycho. Like that.
Yeah,
That
That's
is just
top tier.
a wild movie.
he's so good in this though,
oh yeah.
and he also plays Bruce Wayne. Spoiler alert! If anyone's
Oh
seen
my god, he
Batman.
plays both of them.
Yeah, he is. He is. You know Hannah Montana.
I'm familiar. I'm waiting. I didn't know if I needed to answer, but yes,
Yeah.
I thought you
No,
were just gonna
it's
go.
It's like Hannah Montana, Batman and Bruce Wayne. God, that was
Nice.
so stupid.
All right. Anyways, he also is. I just recently watched the 310 to Yuma remake.
That was
He's in
really
that.
good.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that. Olivia's like, you haven't seen this? What are you, an idiot? And I was like, all right.
You're like,
cool.
well, yeah, I guess.
I guess
but
I don't watch every movie. Maybe I should. But
maybe I should.
but speaking of the Prestige, he's one of the leads in Prestige.
Yeah.
Him and Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
But yeah, he's Bale is awesome.
Yeah. So he's Batman. I'm saying the description is a wealthy socialite who, as a child, was traumatized by his parents' murder.
That's
Nice.
the one thing they keep consistent through all of that.
He is a traumatized man, a wealthy socialite. And then Michael Caine plays Alfred, which is kind of like raised Bruce Wayne
Yeah,
growing
he's his
up. Like
butler.
it's his butler. Heath Ledger is the Joker, which we'll get into this. I think he did incredible.
I mean, yeah, he's an excellent Joker.
Yeah.
We won't talk about
Foreshadowing.
who the best Joker is.
Yeah,
yet, but
not
we
right
will.
now. Did you have any? Who is next? Oh,
Gary
who plays-
Oldman plays James Gordon.
Yes.
It's a wildly different role for him.
He did a great job.
He did.
He's
he did.
just super nervous this whole movie.
Yeah.
He's always like, "Oh, we gotta go get the."
Yeah, he's good.
He's just
but
scurrying about.
he's in my favorite movie as Drexel, the pimp in True Romance, and he's also Count Dracula and Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Coppola movie.
Yeah,
So I'm like thinking of him in those movies. And
It's
then
a
I'm,
little
like,
bit, yeah.
seeing him in this, and I'm like, God,
he does a great job.
is
He
the
did a
same-
great job though.
That's the same guy.
It's the same guy, live in concert.
But Aaron Eckhart plays Harvey
Harvey
Dent.
Dent and Two Face. You later find out.
Dude, we just gonna spoil the whole movie right here.
What? You're gonna be like, who's this Batman guy?
Who's
Like,
Batman?
Batman.
You're telling me that's to do with the cowl? It's also to do with the suit? Like, he's at the fundraisers too.
Someone's like, oh, it's like Hannah Montana. And then Maggie Gyllenhaal, Jake Gyllenhaal's older sister.
Go with it. I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know who's older.
It's all approximate.
You know what? We're gonna go with that.
It plays Rachel, which is the kind of like the love interest, like that Bruce Wayne is always trying to schmooze. And then I don't know why I just said it like that. That's super
It was
weird.
cool. Let's go with
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And then Morgan Freeman plays Lucius Fox, which is he's the CEO of Wayne Enterprises.
it. Right. He's just like his tech guy.
He's his tech guy.
He's
He
like, oh, you
basically-
need some gadgets? I'm the guy.
He hacks into the mainframe the whole movie, and
Yeah.
that's his only role. Did we have any other? I think those were like the.
That's
big,
a big one. We should just
those are the big people.
roll with that. Well, maybe
All
we'll
right.
hit some little guys later on.
Some here and there's along the way. Cool. All right, so for this one, I think we didn't do this for the other ones. I'm going to do a little bit of a quicker blow through of the plot, just because I mean we had a lot we wanted to chat about.
And we were talking about kind of deep dive in this one, and this plot is so twisted and long. And
Yeah, it's
like,
just you have to give the quick overview, or else people are going to cry.
it's
I
a
don't
lot
know,
of
maybe
it'd be
they
a lot
won't.
of and then
Yeah, be like,
And
it's like a
then-
little kid telling you about.
and then
He went over his friend Timmy's
and
house.
then go back to this and then
And
by
then
the
we
time you're
found
like,
a bug.
yo,
and then-
motherfucker, we saw this movie. Jesus Christ.
Like, we get it. You guys don't go outside.
Yeah, you.
Anyway, so the plot of the movie. So it opens up. You're in the middle of like a bank heist. They're trying to steal. You don't really know who they're trying to steal from. Who's like, what's it about? So they break into this big vault. You quickly find out that it is a mafia-owned bank in Gotham City. So all these guys are stealing things. It seems to be like a big crew. They all have these face masks on to make it look like they're like kind of clown-like characters. And either keep going through it. They all kind of start killing each other along the way because you find out as they're robbing the bank, and the further along it gets, that they were all hired by the Joker, this mysterious person that like no one really knows. But basically all of their instructions were, after this point, you now kill this person. And the idea of is that the Joker's the only one that was supposed to make it out of there. Everyone else was supposed to kill each other with like some grand scheme of like, oh, this will just be more money for us, crime. And that was stupid.
No, it was good.
So the Joker reveals himself at the end of it that he, this was my plan. He escapes with the money, drives out into a school bus, and then just kind of shuffles in line with a bunch of other school buses. But there's debris and bombs, so I just kind of gloss over that one. Which is just, I don't know. I thought that was so stupid. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What, when he goes in line with all the other buses?
Yeah, and like none of the other buses stop him.
They're just like, oh, okay, cool. That's bus 104.
Looks like 104 got a little distracted through the bank.
It's a shortcut.
Yo, guys, I know a better way.
Yeah, dude. He stopped for coffee, but he had to make up the time, so he blew through the bank.
Great.
Wait, where's the kids?
Anywho, so now we flash to this is where you start to, after this initial thing, I think this is where you meet Batman, Bruce Wayne, Harvey Dent, and Jim Gordon.
Yeah, it's kind of like each main character has their quick intro, which I think is cool. Intro. It's like boom, 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 like 4 in a row.
So Batman, he's the Batman. Yeah. Harvey Dent, you find out, is like a new district attorney that's hoping to do some good in the town. You kind of find out through a couple of scenes along the way that Batman has been under the radar. Haven't really seen him a lot. There's a quick cameo to Scarecrow earlier on, which I thought was pretty cool. So things are basically in disarray. There's a lot of like people trying to like impersonate Batman. Things are a mess. Then you meet police lieutenant at the time, Jim Gordon. They basically all strike up an alliance to basically eliminate this organized crime family that was just ripped off. So there's a little bit of some separate storylines going on here. You have on one side the mob boss is being violently ripped off by the Joker, Batman, Harvey Dent, and Gordon all together being like, all right, crime's getting a little out of hand, we got to do something about it. And then the mob boss is just doing mob things. I don't know what they're doing. doing mob things. So Batman, or I guess Bruce Wayne, kind of earlier on says that he publicly supports Harvey as kind of Gotham's legitimate protector. A precursor to this is that he was kind of looking for a way out. He's getting older. Batman, I think one of the lines which I thought was really cool, he says, I can't be Batman forever. Like I can't do this forever. Like I need to have an out. So he is recognizing Harvey as like a legitimate way to stop the crime in Gotham, which I thought was pretty cool. I think when he like endorses Harvey, this is where you meet Rachel, or where she shows up.
Well, yeah,
right?
She's in the first one. That's probably the first time you see her in this one. Yeah, when she's dating Harvey now.
Yeah, she is. So she's in a relationship with Harvey, and the whole time she's like, I can't be in a relationship with you while you're Batman.
Right.
Like,
and that was her deal.
Yeah.
That's
so
like
now that Harvey's come along,
end of Batman Begins is basically,
I can't be with you.
Yeah.
Of like, hey, thanks, but no, left swipe. And so she's dating Harvey Dent, and he's like, well, if Harvey's the new protector, maybe we could do,
yeah,
how about it,
Harvey B's the White Knight.
Take you out for a nice little dinner. That's what he says. Yeah, he says Harvey is the White Knight, and Batman's known as the Dark Knight in the Dark Knight trilogy. It's not rocket science, people. So then it flashes back to they kind of have all the mob bosses realize they got ripped off. Flashes over to this, we talked about this earlier, and we talked about it during the Thing episode. This is a little chaotic. There's a lot of different storylines going on.
Oh, yeah.
So bear with us here. So flashes to the mafia bosses who have recently just found out that they got ripped off by the Joker. Basically, their accountant just fucks off with all their money.
Yeah, Lau.
Like, the rest of their money, of saying, like, you got ripped off. I was able to save the rest of your money. And he goes back to Hong Kong because he can't basically be extradited. So he's like, I have all your money. I'm the only one who knows where it is. Don't worry about it. So the mafia bosses are trying to figure out a way to protect themselves from the Joker, who just ripped them off. The police, who famously don't like crime, and Batman.
Is that like specific to Batman, or is that like in general?
It's specific. It's no, it's in general. I almost said it's specific to general, but it's in general.
So okay.
Famously, police officers.
I'm following now. I'm with you now.
Keith's taking a lot of notes right now for people.
Yeah, I don't have the pencil, but I'm writing.
He's writing. His hand's going. Anyway, and Batman, who he hasn't been around, but there is still kind of like this looming fear that Batman is around. So during this little mafia boss meeting, which it's not in a very nice place for all this money that they seem to have. I'm just going to throw it out there. Personally.
What did you think they're going to do? Rent a hotel room, ballroom?
You've seen Goodfellas, you know. Henry Hill's getting tables up to the front, and they're in a dirty kitchen. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, you're right. You know, you should tell Maroney that he needs to.
They got to get
his shit together.
They got to get Joe Pesci involved and start doing a thing or two. So they're all at this meeting of the minds, and then the Joker interrupts them and says, you know, they're trying to look for him, and he says, the police aren't your problem. We all know who your real problem is. It's Batman. And he essentially contracts himself on behalf of the mafia. He says, I will kill Batman for half of the money that I've stolen. I'll give you the other half back. I don't care about it. And they were like, okay. I think they just decide to partner with him at this point. Did I miss anything? He also has a really great line along the way when he interrupts them, and they're basically going to get ready to try and kill the Joker. And he goes, how about a magic trick?
Remember yeah.
He says, we'll talk, but we'll get into that one later. That was a quote I really wanted.
I'm going to make this pencil disappear.
And he just bashes this dude's head into the table, which is incredible. So they need to find Lau, who is in Hong Kong. He has the other half of their money. I think they then basically track down this guy.
Yeah, they fly to Hong Kong.
And
they use bat sonar.
They find this guy because I think the whole thing is that like they don't want to deal with the Joker. Like they offer to bring the money back, and basically like, if we bring you this guy, will you just fucking cool it?
Right.
Like, will you just keep the peace?
He's the key to getting basically indicting all the crime families at once.
Yeah,
they basically are going to get him to sing.
Yeah, they want to try and get him before the Joker and the crime families.
Because then they can do the White Knight way.
Yeah, the Harvey Dent way of
way.
Like, let's actually try and arrest people instead of punching them with my rich people things, which has been the Bruce Wayne method up until now.
Exactly. I think that's actually a quote from Nolan's his director notes. punch them with rich people
with your rich people gadgets. He's just a rich dude. It's wild. Anyway, no, that's a whole other tangent. So they find him in Hong Kong, return him into the custody of the police. He agrees to testify. It's basically Harvey Dent leading the charge here. The bosses do accept the Joker's offer. He starts basically, so there is now a big trial underway, and the Joker just starts offing people left and right. Yeah. But it's brutal. Was it the district attorney? He kills.
Commissioner gets poisoned.
The police commissioner gets poisoned.
And then the judge gets in her car, sees the note that says "up," looks up, and her car blows
up. Gordon is able to save the mayor, but basically is like, I want to know who the Batman is. If the Batman doesn't reveal himself in the next day or so, I'm gonna kill someone every, one person a day will die until the Batman reveals himself. So now we're in a classic pickle, okay? Because now Batman doesn't know if he's supposed to, I guess, reveal himself, and it's a lot of confusion. So he threatens the people. He then targets Harvey Dent. Mm-hmm. The Joker shows up to a charity event. He was basically the next person that he was going to try and attack. Finds him there. He ends up throwing Rachel out of a window. Batman saves the day, swoops in.
Does the butt slide.
The classic butt slide. I don't know if it's classic, but it was classic in that scene.
So it just has to happen at one time to be classic.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's really cool, it's like, that's classic.
So can
Batman.
I just throw this in here?
Of course.
Olivia is a huge Butthole Surfers fan.
Oh, yeah.
Because her parents were Butthole Surfers fans. Her family is visiting now, and they gave me the origin of how they came up with the Butthole Surfers name, and it's because they were they were all long distance runners.
Okay.
And then when on certain runs, like the hill, I guess they did like outdoor runs.
Okay.
The hill was really steep.
Yeah.
It was easier to slide on their butts.
On their butt. So they were the butt. That's good. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Was
so
Batman
he did,
one of the Butthole Surfers?
Yeah. I think Pepper was playing in the background. He slides.
That's wild.
Anyways, continue.
Anyway, yeah. So while he's not a member of the Butthole Surfers, he was saving Rachel as she's plummeting to her demise out of a window. Then it kind of flashes back. I think this is the first time they're in like the Bat Cave. Now we see Alfred. He's kind of struggling. He saves Rachel. Joker disappears, and he's talking to Alfred, and he has a really great line of like, I don't understand why the Joker's doing what he's doing. Like, he clearly doesn't care about money. He doesn't care about like the fame. He doesn't really seem like he wants anything. Doesn't really seem to be any patterns. And Alfred says the famous line of, "Some men just want to watch the world burn." And that's kind of like the whole. If you understand that, you really understand how who the Joker is in this movie. Anyway, so Harvey Dent then. In like a big press conference, the plan was that Batman was going to out himself to be like, look, this doesn't mean that much to me. Like, we need people to not be killed. So Harvey Dent falsely claims that he's Batman on a big press thing where Harvey was going to come out and reveal and basically call up Bruce Wayne to lure the Joker out. And then he basically attacks. Then the Joker decides to attack the convoy that's like arresting Harvey because Batman, while he is a hero, I mean, he is he's a vigilante, but he has broken very real crimes in like the whole canon of Batman. So like, people kind of want him arrested. Like, I think they're very would you say that's accurate? Like, it's very polarized.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
People either really support Batman or like he's just another criminal. Like, he's just you know what I mean?
Yeah. He's just like the misunderstood, the Dark Knight. Yeah, that's why he is the Dark Knight.
So the Joker attacks the convoy that's basically bringing Dent in. It fails, basically. And then this leads to Batman and Gordon arresting the Joker while he's trying to attack this convoy. So it worked. So Dent was able to successfully lure the Joker out. He gets caught. Gordon is promoted to commissioner, which is pretty fun. Batman is interrogating the Joker. He wants to know why he's doing this. And why he wants to. He says a really good line. He's like, "Why do you want to kill me?" And the Joker goes, "I don't want to kill you. It's too much fun having you alive." Basically, which is that in itself is just a whole great scene. From here, you find out that Joker had no intention of killing him. It's kind of released that through conversation and dialogue that Batman has feelings for Rachel, and then I guess you do find out that they were able to secure Harvey and Rachel, right? While they're doing the chase. Because then you find out that while they have captured the Joker and everything seems hunky-dory, the Joker's men have captured Rachel and Harvey, and they're holding them at two separate locations. So basically the Joker's like, these two people, one of them, Harvey, who you think is going to save Gotham, is in this warehouse, rigged to blow up, and the person that you love is in this warehouse, also rigged to blow up. The choice is yours. Thanks for playing. Which I think is like, it's
maniacal.
It's brutal, is what it is. From here, I think he tries to go save Rachel, but you find out that the Joker told them that he basically mixed the two up, so he accidentally saves Harvey.
Yeah.
He didn't think he was going to. Rachel, kaput. She's done so. R.I.P. But Harvey, during this whole thing, his chair falls over in this warehouse, and there was gasoline everywhere. Half of his face lights on fire, but he saves him. Joker escapes through rigging an explosive in an inmate, which throughout this movie you find out that he is just severely manipulating everyone from like Arkham, which is like the mental hospital, basically, whatever it is.
It's like a prison.
It's a prison. It's a prison
for the criminally insane.
Criminally insane, which is like where in the lore of Batman, like some people think he was born there. Some I don't think they ever super go into it.
And he and most of the, regulars and Batman's.
Yeah, they all came from
their Sunday tea dates. The the rest of them, they usually have been in Arkham at some point.
Yeah, so that's kind of like how they all just bigger than this movie, the Batman saga in general. That's like one place that connects a lot of these villains. Which also, I was watching this movie and everyone's like, dude, man, there's like banks getting blown up. Like, if you think about Batman, why would anyone live in Gotham? People are like, dude. Oh, dude, the school districts are just incredible.
Or like, yeah, I don't want to live in Philadelphia, but Gotham sounds cool.
Gotham sounds neat. You know, blowing up everything. I don't know. It's just, I thought that was really silly. Anyway, on with this story. So Harvey Dent's face severely burned. Joker escapes custody. It basically goes, so earlier when they get Lau, when they finally find out where he is, they find out where the money was, and the Joker gets the money and lights it all on fire. And he's like, I don't care about the money. Like, I'm just in this because I like the chaos of everything. And he burns Lau in the process, too.
Yeah, but he says, I'm just going to burn my half. But
yeah,
and then he gasoline on, obviously, just burns the entire
all
thing.
Of it. I'm right in front of all the mob bosses, and essentially this is a part of the movie where the Joker's like, you now all work for me. Which is like kind of a power.
But he kind of does that, like, that's like a snowball effect. He does that every time he does something crazy to somebody in the movie, like a crime-related person. All of a sudden, like, the fear of the Joker is stricken into them, and immediately it's like...
Yeah, and he's like, you can work for me.
Yeah,
now.
you're going to work for me.
You're going to work for me. And that's why the Joker is so successful, which is just because he's able to, like, basically fear.
Oh, yeah.
So now you flash back to, you're back at Wayne Enterprises, and this scene I thought was really funny. There's, like, a junior, like, accountant. He's not a junior. He's, like, a younger guy, Coleman Reese. He basically finds out who Batman is, and this is all going on of like this like in the air. It's still the Joker being like, I want to know who Batman is, or people will continue to die. So this accountant is like, I just think it's really funny that there was all this technology that was kind of like written off in all these like weird like low accounts, and money was moving, and then all of a sudden this Batman figure has all this new fancy stuff, and so he basically finds out that. That he, like, basically who Batman is, and tries to expose it. He's going to go on TV and be like, I know who Batman is, but the Joker comes on and is like, that's not fair to the Batman. He hijacks the transmission, and says, I will blow up a hospital if Reese isn't killed. He's like, I want the Batman to have a fair shot at like truly justice, which throughout this whole movie there's this theme of like the Joker's main goal, he wants Batman to do one thing unethical. Like he just wants one fucking nugget to show that like Batman isn't perfect. I was able to like influence my chaos upon him, which I just think is fucking awesome.
And he wants him to kill him ultimately. He's like, please.
Yeah. Well, there's this scene during the chase where he has where they're basically trying to catch Harvey after they arrested him, where the Joker's standing in the street and he's like, come on, do it. And Batman is fucking gunning it at him. He's like, hit me. And then Batman at the last second, like, just dumps his motorcycle. And he's like, that's what I thought. Like, you're still uncorruptible, Batman. Which I just like, it's so fucking good. So he says, I'm going to blow up a hospital unless this guy Reese is killed. There's this big scramble. They're trying to keep this guy Reese alive. It's mayhem. They're trying to evacuate a hospital, the hospital where Harvey Dent is staying at, with half of his face burnt off. And this is where you meet his kind of alter ego of Two-Face.
Right.
So all along in the movie, the Joker, or Harvey, has this kind of coin that he's flipping around. He jokes around like, oh, I'll leave it up to chance. Like, heads I go through with this, or tails I don't. Of just like little silly things.
But you find out that his coin all the time had two heads on it.
Had two heads, because he says a real man makes his own luck.
Yep.
Which is also said in Titanic, but let's just breeze over that one.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Anyway, Billy Zane says it as it's not important. It's not Batman. He's losing it. But anyway.
You just wait till I have like liquid in my mouth before you start. Yeah.
Before we get the Diet Coke incident all over again.
Yeah.
So he basically says like, I make my own luck. Like it looks like I'm leaving it up to chance, but I'm really not. Now, after he is burnt, I think he has, he is now Two-Face, but the one side of his coin is also burnt. So now it's truly up to chance. So he starts going on a warpath. he actually has a gun to the Joker. The Joker puts a gun to his own head and says, like, pull the trigger. Like, do it. Put an end to all of this. And Harvey's like, no, I'll let fate decide this. So he flips a coin. He doesn't go through with it, essentially. So now he's like truly leaving things up to chance. So this is kind of where the Harvey Dent evil Two-Face guy starts coming out. So he starts separately going on a warpath of killing all of the corrupt officers. There's a lot of like mafia people involved in them being captured, like Rachel and Harvey. It was basically like friends told them to come over. You find out that like, oh, a friend told her to go over her house, but it was really someone who was like working for the Joker through all these other little like, corruption channels. So he starts offing people left and right, which is just kind of wild. Like, he seems justified along the way. I mean, would you say that's accurate? Like,
yeah, it's definitely a vengeance move. It's like, well, you took the only thing I love, pretty much. So now I'm going to take everything that you have.
Yeah,
pretty much your life. I'm going to take your life.
Pretty much. So people are evacuating now. So Harvey's killing people. The Joker actually blows up the hospital and says, like,
what an awesome scene.
It is really awesome. Yeah, when he's like standing outside with a detonator,
and it hasn't fully blown yet.
And he's just like, what the and he's in the nurse outfit, which is hysterical. Which is, that's so funny. So people are freaking out. Panic takes over Gotham as the Joker's still kind of going on this like seemingly unrelated warpath of like, I'm just going to kill whoever I want because it's fun. So the town starts evacuating. There's two ferries that are taking two very large groups of people out. One is the prisoners that were on Gotham, not in Arkham, and then just citizens who are trying to make it off. So halfway through here, the Joker reveals that, oh, one has civilians, one has prisoners. They're both rigged to explode at midnight, but if one of you, I gave both of you the detonators to the other ship. So as long as someone blows it up, the other ship will be fine. So more chaos. People are arguing back and forth. It turns out that neither one of the boats decided to blow each other up. The Joker's kind of pissed off about it, which is just a great scene in itself.
And then he reveals that he has the master detonator.
That he says like, you gotta do it yourself, huh? And when he's like up in the little tower watching,
your Joker voice is awesome,
dude. It's not healthy. I wish I could like do my real job better than do the Joker voice. So where were we talking about? They're doing so the passengers basically refuse to kill each other. The Batman captures the Joker. He finds out where he was watching it from, and
using the bat sonar again.
Which Morgan Freeman's character, the CEO of what's it called?
Wayne Enterprises,
is super against like all this technology that he's using, but we'll get to that at the end. So the Joker's like, all right, yeah, you got me, kill me. Batman still doesn't kill him, and he says that like, although Batman, like, police are coming up, they're going to actually arrest him, and he has this great dialogue. The Joker has this great dialogue where he's hanging upside down. Batman's caught him. He's pretty much defeated. Like and he says that like, while Batman, I couldn't corrupt you, I was able, like, my whole plan to get Harvey to be on my side was successful. Yeah. So you find out all along, like, he wasn't really, like, he cared about Batman, but the person, like, the legitimate source of authority was the one that he was really after, and he succeeded. I mean, and just for the fuck of it, it's really what it boils down to.
He's like, I got my ace in the hole.
Yeah, he's like, man. Harvey Dent. Like, oh, he did it. Which is pretty wild. So you find out that plan has succeeded. Separately, you find out that Harvey, on his warpath, takes Gordon's family hostage and says, like, now, you were negligible for Rachel's death. You didn't do enough. You should have done more, yada, yada, yada. He then does his little flippity coin thing to say, like, now, I'm going to let fate decide if your family gets to live. As he flips the coin, Batman tackles him, saves Gordon's family, but Dent falls to his death. So kind of the dust is settled. The Joker's out of the picture. Harvey's out of the picture. Things are kind of returning to normal. There's this, at the end, a great dialogue where he says that Harvey, like, he doesn't want to reveal that Harvey was actually a villain the whole time. He says that Harvey was the hero that Gotham needed. Batman was basically the person that Gotham needed to blame, which I thought was awesome. And he's like, but you didn't but you were the hero all along. And Bruce Wayne just goes, no, Batman was. And I was like, oh, that's so good. Like, you can kind of hide behind this character, which I thought was like really cool. And then the movie ends with him being like, they want someone to blame from this. Tell him it was Batman. Like, I will, if they chase me, I'll run. And the movie ends with a police, message going out saying like, Harvey was a hero. Like, we have to get Batman. He's responsible for all of this. And the movie just kind of fades right there, which I thought is an awesome way. This big man hunt for Batman. And then the movie that's the end of the movie.
And then the last line, though, you love the last line. He's not a hero. He's a silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight. That's it.
Hans Zimmer with the score comes in strong, and he's riding off on his motorcycle, which is just awesome. I love it. So, and that was our, I'll say, quicker overview of the plot.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, I think for that movie, that was about as fast as you can go.
I think before we start talking about the nonsense, we needed to just go over the plot. I just think it'll help people stay involved. And we're at 45 minutes right now, which is pretty good. So,
yeah,
we're kind of killing it right now. Now do we want to get into
now we can do what we want.
Do we get into the meat and potatoes? So I know you had stuff to talk about if you want to chat about any of it.
Okay, so first off, what's the deal with Gary Oldman's accent in this movie? Is it Irish? Is it Scottish? What is it? I can't tell what James Gordon is supposed to be or what his background is, but I don't understand it. It's fucking wild, the whole movie. The same in Batman Begins.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, what the hell is he going for? Is it like it's like a mix?
Like, oh, hi, Batman.
It's like but it's like it's never one dialect. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
He's like, never let him know your next move.
I'm like, okay. So is he like undercover as James Gordon? He's like a CIA operative. I have no fucking idea.
It's like a Donnie Brasco situation.
But he does go from what, lieutenant to commissioner in this one.
Commissioner.
But in the last movie, he gets promoted to lieutenant from, I forget.
I don't remember. So yeah, this is the second in the trilogy.
Yeah, and you said obviously this is your favorite of the three?
I did say out of all the three. Well, if you had to pick one. So the first one, fucking
I like this take. I love this take.
I don't like.
All right, tell the people why you don't like it.
All right.
Give us your run through.
So in the first one, the villain, I just don't like the villain. It's so stupid. Scarecrow, he literally is like, oh, I got this old potato sack and some chemicals under the sink. Let me go terrorize Gotham. Like, what is that? I don't care about that. So he's running amok with his little cleaning products, and then out of nowhere, he goes to he goes to just train with a samurai mask. Like, who greenlit this project? Like, Nolan was like, look, there's going to be a stinker, but then we're really going to rally at the second one. And that's my hot take on the first one. I just don't like it.
No, you're good. You're good. I appreciate. I remember you came over to my desk recently, and I was like, when's the last time you watched Batman Begins? And you're like, dude, don't even get me started.
And I was like, let me sit down.
I'm like, and you did. You sat down, and I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
So I think Batman Begins is an okay movie. It's decent.
Okay.
It's fine.
Rank them.
Oh, Dark Knight. If I have to rank the three, first of all, is it okay if I tell you that these are not my favorite Batman movies?
No.
Okay.
These
are my favorite Batman movies.
Thanks for coming, guys. We'll see you.
So out of these three, Dark Knight, obviously, I mean,
it's tops.
It's probably one of the best Batman movies, one of the best superhero movies, one of the best comic book movies. Honestly, one of the just. I mean,
it's
I didn't realize
like a great
how
movie.
many lists. Like people were like Casablanca, Citizen Kane, Dark Knight. Like it's actually up at that level for people, and it's like on these.
It's so good.
But as however old I was when I saw it, I was like, oh, I love Batman. Like I'm so used to people not liking really Batman or anything I usually like that I'm like, oh, this is actually like you know what I mean? It's
I know. I get.
I'm using like things that people think are dog shit. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just how it works.
That's why we're friends.
It's like that's why I like the '96 Eagles.
Yeah. You know what are you gonna
fucking
do?
Sucked. But that it was just like okay, I never really conceptualized how much people actually like this movie. I mean, I knew it was huge, but
I remember watching this like. This was the first out of the trilogy that I watched.
And I think that's the same for a lot of people.
A lot of people were like, oh, let's go see the new Dark Knight movie. Yeah. And then I was like, what the fuck? And then I watched the first one, and I was like, oh, that movie sucked.
Yeah, I think that happened a lot. I definitely saw Batman Begins before it, but I didn't see it in theaters.
Yeah.
And I saw it, and I was just kind of like,
You're like,
It was good.
it's fine.
And my thing is, this movie is long. This is like 2.5 hours,
Yeah.
but it's long and you're in the whole time. Batman Begins is long.
It's a lot of like filler.
And unless you like Batman Year One, which is what it's based off of, it's an awesome graphic novel.
Yeah.
But if you really like the comics, you'll probably make apologies for this movie. You'll find reasons to like it more. You got Ra's al Ghul, you got the Scarecrow, you hate the Scarecrow. Scarecrow honestly is an iconic villain, especially in the animated series. Like as a kid, like
fine,
I was terrified of that. Like you know what I mean? I understand though. Potato Sack.
It's kind of
you took a piss out of him on him. Basically said, "Hey, Cillian Murphy, stand there real quick," and just
like if he came up to me,
just drank a hot cup of coffee. And
he's
just
like, "I'm the
him.
Scarecrow." I'd be like, "You're a clown."
He's like, "No, that's not me."
And then the Joker would be like, "No, that's the next movie." And then his little weaselly voice. So you had a hot take. Well, I don't know if it was a hot take.
Is it hot? Okay, so I will say this though. First time I saw Dark Knight Rises, the third of them.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I thought we were getting pranked in the theater because the first time you hear Bane's voice, like in that surround sound theater, it's behind you,
Batman.
And you just hear him like as they're
trying
to figure out
in the plane.
Yeah,
like
they're
the
trying to figure out
in the plane.
They're trying to figure out who Bane is in the plane, and he starts talking. I'm like, that's like I literally turned around because I was like, who's...
Do you think it was like a dipshit kid in the back, like, "Hi, hello,
I'm Bane"? I thought it was like I thought someone was doing like a megaphone in my ear. I turned around, I was like, what the fuck? And I will say this. My first time I watched it with a group of people that don't like really like Batman, so everyone just made fun of the movie the whole time.
Well, that was probably not the best.
Yeah,
movie.
but I rewatched it. That movie actually is awesome.
It's really, I think
it's a little bit long.
It's very long. I think Bane. So I came off of like the Bane from, is it Batman Forever? No, not Batman.
No,
Forever.
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin,
right?
Where it was one of them with Mr. Freeze. I'm trying to remember. Oh my God, how come I not think of this? Uma Thurman played Poison Ivy.
That's Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin. I came off of the Bane that was like more close to the comic book of like the juiced up, chemically dude.
Bane's in Batman Forever though, I thought, right?
I don't think so.
Just keep talking. I'll figure this out.
That's fine. So I guess when I was like 10 or so, that's when it all started. No. So Bane, he's all like juiced up in the third one, but I thought that was a really good movie. Did you not? So what is your ranking? To bring this whole shit
out of the Dark Knight or out of all Batman?
The trilogy. Let's do the
trilogy.
Oh yeah,
Dark Knight first, then Dark Knight Rises, then Batman Begins.
Okay. You heard it here first.
Yeah. And so, all right, not to get too nerdy on this, because do you read comics?
No. When I was younger, I used
What
to
about
read
graphic
comics.
novels? Like, do you?
I'll read a graphic novel. I haven't read.
All right, so I'm going to give you like a stack of graphic novels to read Batman wise, because I think
I'll do it.
The Long Halloween, which is primarily the influence for this one, Dark Knight.
Yeah. That was the one Nolan basically. Yeah. He based this whole trilogy off of that.
Yeah. So like the Harvey Dent story is they changed it. Harvey has a wife in that one, Gilda. Yeah. He has a girl, Rachel, in this one. I don't want to spoil the because that graphic novel is actually awesome. It's like 13 segments. Yeah. They're all based on. Oh, they're like 20. What are they? 30 page. Oh yeah. 30 page each. 13 of them. It's a good. A couple hours you'll be done. Yeah. But the artwork is awesome. Yeah. Jeff Loeb, one of the best.
Killed it.
But yeah, the Harvey Dent story comes from there. Yeah. And then I actually read somebody say Dark Knight is like the Long Halloween story told through the lens of The Killing Joke, which is Alan Moore's awesome graphic novel on a Joker story. Those two, I think, are like, even if you don't like Batman, or even if you don't like comics, just like good just read them. Basically. Yeah, and then Dark Knight Returns. Those are obviously awesome, and then Year One is more like basically a different origin to Batman from Bruce Wayne. Yeah,
it's not like the nipple suit Batman era.
No. Nipple suit Batman era. That's a special time. Yeah, 1997.
That's a special time. But did you have any?
But I will say, Dark Knight Rises, Tom Hardy as Bane.
Awesome.
Honestly, awesome. Much cooler when you just watch it without a bunch of jackasses in the theater doing Bane voices. Yeah. I realized that. Like, that's the worst.
Yeah, the Bane voice. So I was just about to do the Bane voice.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Well, no, I just like this scene, when they're in like the prison, like the pit prison. Yeah. And he was like, I was molded by the darkness, Batman. And he does that whole bit. Like, that's an awesome speech. Like, that is undeniably a super badass speech.
Yeah, and then that one. So if I'm gonna just do one more comic nerdy thing, that one,
Sure.
that storyline's based on Nightfall, which is a cool Batman arc, huge Batman arc later on in the '90s, and No Man's Land, which I've never fully read, but the whole cutting off the Gotham from the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That kind of comes from that.
So now this one. So we talked about. Did you have any quotes from like this movie, The Dark Knight?
Oh, I mean,
talk about?
Yeah.
Because then I was going to do
the
like
Joker quotes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Joker.
So the one line that I used to say this all the time, and I don't know why. I think it was just like a funny, like it was a funny thing that you could do the Batman voice or the Joker voice. Is when they're all in like the mob meeting, and he goes, "We must kill the Batman," and I don't know why that always makes me laugh.
Yeah, they ask him like, "What do you propose we do?" He's like,
"I will kill the Batman."
Kill the Batman.
You want to know how I got these scars?
Yeah,
and
so
he's just like all wired the whole time.
What's cool about that is, so
He
every Joker pretty much has a different origin story, slightly.
Yeah,
you know, Joker in the comics versus Joker in Batman
originally
89.
he fell in a vat.
That's the Batman 89. He falls in the vat.
Yeah,
becomes the Joker. There's the Red Hood. That's a whole comic arc thing. That's a whole other thing. It's like slightly similar to that, slightly different. It's different. Yeah. But yeah, so there's always a different, and it's kind of cool that it is a mystery.
Story, like what is he never?
That's what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
He gives 3 different reasons.
What are the reasons though?
So
like,
the first quote was when he meets Gamble, or when he's in the crime syndicate's lab or area, kitchen, dungeon, piece of shit.
Their kitchenette.
It looks like it's like the fucking green room or something, or like it looks like a Bennigan's kitchen or something.
This episode is sponsored by Bennigan.
Fucking, I hope.
When you're here,
I hope there's not one left on the fucking planet.
Bennigan's, don't sue us. I feel like, just as a side note, podcast related, we've had to ask someone or a company not to sue us in every single episode.
But we talk about companies that, I don't know, does anyone still know what a Bennigan's is?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's probably better that way.
It's probably better that way.
Well, he says to Gamble, "You want to know how I got these scars?" And he says, "My father was a drinker, a fiend. One night he goes off crazier than usual." And like, obviously I'm not doing it. And the way he does it, it's like slowed, and he's always like doing that.
He's like
licking his lips.
Yeah.
Or like, no,
he's like
licking the side of his
mouth. Was a drinker. And you're like, oh man. His like just the speech patterns alone were awesome in this. Yeah. Oh, what does he say?
Mommy gets the kitchen knife to defend herself. He doesn't like that, not one bit. So me watching, he takes the knife to her, laughing while he does it. He turns to me and says, "Why so serious?"
Oh man, dude, that
comes at me with a knife, and then he screams at, "Why so serious?"
That line of "Why so serious" was the most.
It's on every fucking Hot Topic shirt ever.
That was we would like go to the boardwalk and shit like that.
Yeah.
Though there's still "Why so serious" t-shirts on the boardwalk, and that was 15 years.
Could you imagine being the guy that has the "Why so serious" tattoo down his forearm right now? Dipshit,
sir.
He sticks the blade in his mouth though, and he goes, and he says, "He sticks the blade in my mouth," and he puts the blade in Gamble's mouth.
Yeah.
Let's put a smile on that face, and then they cut it, but he obviously gives him the fucking smile.
Gives him the what for.
My god! So I actually read somewhere that originally he's supposed to give him the Glasgow smile, and he's supposed to survive that and be in the movie later.
Really?
But because of everything that happened with the man, the myth, the legend, Heath Ledger, some of the production stuff got changed, and like I guess they went a different way.
Yeah.
With certain things, they cut stuff, and they just. So originally, he was supposed to survive with that smile.
That's pretty wild.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give a little tidbit.
That the Glasgow smile.
Glasgow smile, yeah.
You know who also, like, a real life person had that happen to her? Tina Fey. You know that scar on her face?
Tina Fey.
How
did she get in a situation where that would happen to her?
So she grew up pretty. I live near where she grew up. I grew up in a similar to basically the town that she grew up in. And when she was little, some guy came up to her and cut her face, and that's why she has that scar on her face. If you you know the scar that I'm talking about, or you can look up a picture of it. But yeah,
what
she tells about it in an interview. I just always think out of all the people,
I didn't even know she was from around us.
Yeah, she's.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's wild, isn't it? Yeah, I mean she's born and raised in the greater Philadelphia area.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's awesome. But anyway,
she was 5.
Yeah, I told you. You heard it.
Dude, I was thinking 13.
No,
18,
she was like
5,
very little when that happened.
Jesus.
So he also tells back to the Dark Knight. He also tells I think he tells Rachel that he had a wife and that she was basically like so sad all the time. I think she was like horribly depressed. And he says like I think he wanted to basically put a smile on her face.
Yeah. Well, so he says, so I had a wife. She was beautiful, like you. He keeps doing that.
Yeah.
I found out the reason he does that.
Yeah.
Is like a tick, but it's also because he has all those sutures there. He has to like make sure they're like intact the whole time.
Yeah.
So like it's an actor thing. I think it's a Joker tick too.
I think it's a Joker tick. Yeah. I think that's way cool.
He's playing with his fucking crazy scars.
Yeah.
Who tells me I worry too much? Who tells me I ought to smile more? Who gambles and gets in deep with the sharks? One day they carve her face.
Yeah.
And we have no money for surgeries. She can't take it. I just want to see her smile again. I just don't know. I just want her to know that I don't care about these scars. So I stick a razor in my mouth. And he just mimics it.
Yeah, he does like the... Yeah.
And do this to myself. And you know what?
She can't stand the sight of me. Yeah.
She leaves. Now I see the funny side. Now I'm always smiling.
Yeah.
And then she just knees him in the balls.
It's so good. But yeah, I mean, I think it's you truly don't know like where he got the scars.
He says, "Oh, you got some fight in you. I like that." And then Batman swoops in. He's like, "Well, then you're gonna love me."
Damn.
Bam.
Bam.
Yeah.
Gets him. I think so. The Joker kills it. So many great lines.
Oh yeah.
I think you had a hot take about the Joker, but I'll hold off on it. Did you have any other quotes from this movie, from this one that you wanted to talk about? Any like production? So it was filmed in Chicago. I saw. It was also filmed in England, and it was also filmed in Japan, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. So when they did the international scenes, it was actually Japan.
Yeah. So they filmed in 3 locations, but I can't imagine how much of a nightmare that was to film.
So he references Korea at one point. He says Pyongyang.
Yeah.
Because I guess that was gonna be the cover up. Is that they have like a I don't remember the exact cover up, but they have a cover up where a plane flies over to Pyongyang. I guess they were going to hop out in Hong Kong, which is in China, and then it was actually filmed in Japan. That's kind of crazy.
I think so. Let me see.
You do that. I'll go with some Joker codes while you do that.
Oh, Hong Kong. Yeah, Chicago, Hong Kong.
Oh, it was Hong Kong.
Sets
okay.
In England.
Okay, so it was actually filmed in Hong Kong.
Which I thought was kind of cool.
But he says, one quote though, he says, "Do I really look like a guy with a plan? You know what I am? I'm a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it. I just do things.
Yeah. I love that little friend. He's like, I'm like a dog chasing a car.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do with it.
Dude, I wish you could see. I wish they could see you doing this.
Maybe this should have been our first one.
Just video, but only Joker impressions.
Yeah, we can still do it.
Yeah, you just do a highlight reel, put it on YouTube,
Put
get
it on
5
YouTube.
watches.
It's gonna be riddled with ads. But you look like you were gonna say something.
But the one cool quote though. So first of all, that bank heist scene, I want to talk about that for a second.
It's awesome. Yeah.
It's like we were talking about Point Blank.
Point Break. Point Blank. Yeah.
We were talking about Point Break earlier. Yeah. This movie reminds me that where they swoop in and then they start the bank heist starts. It just reminds me of Point Break, Dead Presidents, basically any like heist movie from like the 90s.
Yeah, a guy named Johnny Utah's there.
Yeah, but yeah, that and then the whole scheme of they basically kill each other once they're done their task. He basically hires someone that knows how to do everything, and they all kill each other until the bus driver. He kills the bus driver, puts the smoke grenade in his mouth,
in the guy's mouth. Yeah,
and he goes, "What doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger." And I was like, and then he pulls the bus out. The pin is attached to the bus. It pulls out, and he thinks it's gonna be a grenade that's gonna explode, but it's really just
smoke.
Which is like a callback to any Joker ever, where he just uses the laughing gas, like Batman '89 comics. He's always using some sort of gas.
I was so good.
And I was just like, damn, he really puts all these cool little nuggets in here. Yeah. But that makes you stranger. It always gets me.
It doesn't kill you, makes you a stranger. Just to the way all of his quotes. I think so. Heath Ledger played the Joker. So I guess
rest in peace.
Yeah, during the filming of it, or during the editing, they'd already shot everything. Yeah. He overdosed. And what really is unsettling is that I was like, oh, he looks like he is like a master at his craft in this movie. He was 27 and 28 when they were filming that as the Joker.
It's so sad.
I drink 2 Diet Cokes and get heartburn all night, and that's the only skill I have. And he's out here filming himself as the Joker?
Yeah,
are you serious?
He kills it.
And I couldn't even do the Diet Coke thing because I spilled it on my laptop. So he's
like the biggest method actor of all time, and you're over here just
trying my
fumbling.
Best. Yeah.
But and then if you look back to Jack Nicholson, he's had interviews where he's talked about how the role had affected him like psychotically.
Yeah. I mean, that was the whole thing. I mean, this might be a hot take, but I think the fact that he met his untimely demise. I'm not going to say they used it as marketing for the movie, but I think it was kind of helped build the initial launch of like, oh, this character took him over, and he died. Like, I think it kind of helped a little bit. I mean, the movie itself is incredible. I don't know. That's just like my little.
I have heard that before, and I think the movie would have been crazy anyways. And
yeah,
like, I wouldn't say they capitalized off of it, but I will say
they didn't not capitalize. They didn't say like
it's like
out
human
of respect,
nature.
We're gonna right.
I think it's human nature to like be intrigued by something that's just like so like a once in a lifetime crazy. Like, I can't believe this happened. Like, it's tragic and it's wild. But yeah, it
was just like pure morbid curiosity. I think that a lot of people just wanted to see the last role that Heath Ledger had.
Yeah. No.
So speaking of Heath Ledger, so we're almost out of time for this one. Who is the best Joker and why?
That's tough. Well, we both know who it's not.
Robert Pattinson.
He's not a Joker.
No, I don't know.
We both know who it's not because we talked about it. And if he's listening, I'm sorry, Jared Leto, but you're not.
Oh, yeah, get that guy out of here. You know what? I sincerely hope he hears this by some miracle. He's one of our, 4 listeners, and he's fuming.
Yeah, they really missed the mark with that. Now, I have read the comic that Joker is in before. It's like and Batman and Robin Adventures. I can't remember. Yeah. I've read that. It's actually a pretty cool comic.
But he sucked.
Yeah, I
just didn't think he was good at that one.
So my favorite is always going to be Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Batman 89.
Yeah. Is that where he has the line, "You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight"? That's
yeah, that movie.
That's pretty good.
It's awesome. And I
he
actually
also
has
the pistol with the barrel that's like 93 feet long.
I was going to say, I have a couple callbacks from that movie to this movie.
Yeah.
So all right, I'm just going to hit them real quick because Batman 89 is one of my favorite movies. Jack Nicholson, I think, is the best. Mark Hamill in the animated series, also in the video, like the comic or whatever you want to call it, comic adaptation of The Killing Joke. He's in that. He's an awesome Batman voice.
Yeah.
I'll say Joaquin Phoenix. Another awesome Joker, kind of unrelated to Batman just yet.
He gets the Joker label,
but it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like that movie was so good.
Who was
so like? I still think Jack Nicholson is my favorite, but if you line 1, 2, 3, 4, don't care Jared Leto because that doesn't count.
Yeah,
but that's 4 completely different Joker vibes that I think are awesome in their different ways. But I still got to pick Jack Nicholson because that movie used to scare the. I had to hide from that movie.
We talked about that on our very first episode about a movie that we grew up watching.
So. But all right, so quick callbacks. The way he saves the girl, kind of similar to how he used to save Vicky Vale in the first one. Okay. She goes out the window. He's holding her. This one, they fall fucking stories.
Yeah.
And he just basically braces, doesn't break his back. She survives.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but whatever. The gun standoff in the street. So he says, "Hit me." Yeah. That you're talking about the one with the pistol. It's almost the same exact scene, except he has the bat pod in this one, so he's racing after the tumbler breaks.
Yeah.
He hits the bat pod. He's chasing, but in the other one, he has the bat wing and he's coming down.
That's right.
And he's shooting fucking rockets.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Missing him, hitting the cake behind him.
Yeah.
And then he's just he just pulls out the
really long revolver.
It's like 4 feet long?
Yeah.
And he holds it. The way he holds it, I just watched this clip again. It's so funny. And he just hits the bat wing once, and it just goes, explodes on the ground. But yeah,
I think that was really cool.
And then the dangling Joker. Yeah. So in the original movie, the Joker's trying to escape. The Joker helicopter's above, and he's trying to escape. He's climbing the ladder, and then Batman's hanging there with
the Jack Nicholson one.
They're hanging on the ledge. He's saving her, and then he takes his batter rope or whatever, and attaches it to his foot, and then around the gargoyle. Gargoyle pulls off. He's holding on for dear life, and the gargoyle just pulls him, and he falls all the way to his death. But in this one, he survives.
He survives. In that one, he's laying on the ground, laughing.
And then that also kind of that scene right there where he's laying there all mangled is kind of what Harvey Dent looks like when he hits his. So I'm like, are these actual callbacks? Am I making this up in my head?
I think they probably are, though. I mean, it was when Nolan was doing this one. I know he was pretty involved in the Batman universe.
Oh yeah, but okay,
yeah.
Can I hit some quick cameos just real quick?
Sure.
Okay, David Dastmalchian. He's the Thomas Schiff. He's the guy that's psychotic.
Oh yeah,
dude, awesome. His face, the way he's when they find out he's insane or whatever, and he's wearing Rachel Dawes' badge.
Yeah,
and Harvey Dent's about to kill him.
Yeah,
that dude. His role is a minute. It is so awesome though.
But he was great.
Michael Jai White is Gamble. He's Spawn in the movie Spawn.
Okay.
He's also like a huge martial artist.
Yeah.
Just awesome that he's in it. And then Tommy Lister Jr., who plays Debo in Friday, is the main convict on the. He's the one that throws the takes the detonator and throws it off.
I'll detonate it, and they're like, "Oh, thank God!" And then he takes it, throws.
He's
it
like, "I'm going to do what we should have done the second we had this or whatever."
I forgot about him.
And then Anthony Michael Hall, who plays in Breakfast Club of 16 Candles, Weird Science, is the news anchor. He's also in Freddy Got Schmingered, one of my actual like somehow weirdly favorite like comedies.
Yeah.
He's in that as David Davidson, and he's just hilarious as an adult because he's a kid actor.
It's
and
so bizarre to see.
The reason I asked you if you like Alkaline Trio earlier is there's a Matt Skiba extra.
Oh really?
He's in the
Matt Skiba's in it?
When everyone's trying to kill Mr. Reese or Mr. Reese.
Yeah.
Matt Skiba. Because I saw that he has a cameo on the wiki page, and then I looked it up, and it's like all these people press up against the glass and they circle his head, and it's him.
It's
right
Matt
there.
Skiba. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's what I had. Wait, did I have one more thing? I think I had one more thing. We were talking about the mysteries thing. I don't know if this is real or not, but
okay.
Edward Nygma is Riddler's name, right?
Yeah.
And he works for Bruce Wayne in the comics, in the Gotham series. He works for Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And in this movie, and he uses a bunch of clues to figure out Bruce Wayne's identity. He does that. That's what happens in this movie.
Yeah.
And then he tries to expose Bruce Wayne, as the Riddler does.
So you think it was supposed to be the Riddler?
When Morgan Freeman says his name, he says Mr. Reese. Mr. Reese.
Wow.
The Mysteries Enigma.
Mysteries.
I don't know if that's real, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's a little...
I'm going to go ahead and say it's
a little Riddler nod.
It's a little something for the people back home.
Hey, the internet thinks it's an Easter egg.
Sure. And
I read it and I said, oh my God, they got it right. Okay, that's all I had, I think. I think I probably have like 10 more things, but that's what we got.
Yeah. I think we could definitely do another one.
Yeah, we got to do... We'll do more Batman episodes.
Yeah.
Definitely Batman Begins because it's Nick's favorite.
Okay.
He's like, dude, I can't freaking get over the training sequences. It's like freaking Rocky all over again.
So good.
It's like Rocky, but like with karate, dude.
That's awful.
It's like Bloodsport. No, it's not. Okay.
No,
anyways, I think that's all I have. I think we nailed it.
I think so too. Yeah. I think this was the Dark Knight, the second movie. Definitely go and watch it. I did have. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let us know what you think. So we are on. You can connect with us. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. Give us some feedback, some reviews wherever you listen to your podcasts. Reach out to us. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Until next time.